Good morning everybody, welcome back to Lake District. Fantastic to have you here as always. So exactly 1 week today I was over in Longsleddle, but this week I'm one valley over to the west in Kentmere, and I'm heading up the eastern ridge of the Kentmere Horseshoe. Just that ridge, not the other side. So you might be wondering why I'm not doing the whole horseshoe. Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. One, I've already done a video of it 2 years ago, of the full route, and I'll put that in the description if you want to go and have a look at that. And two, this whole hiking the Wainwrights thing is not about just bashing out loads of summits in a single walk. I want to split them up, I want to really enjoy them, and also explore some other areas, which is what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm hitting 3 fells, plus some other areas of interest. So let's go and have a look at the map and see exactly where I'm going today. From Kentmere village, I'm going to head up to the open fell side at a place called Stile End via some beautiful footpaths. Then up to Ray Crag, followed by a short ascent up to Shipman Knots, the first Wainwright of the day. From there the going gets much easier along a grassy trod up to Kentmere Pike. And then much of the same up to the final Wainwright of the day, Harter Fell, before dropping down onto Nanbeal Pass and hopefully some wonderful views. Then I'm going to descend into Kentmere Valley and down to Kentmere Reservoir. After which I'm going to go and have a look at some quarries and maybe a cave, and then I'll get back onto the bridleway and have a wonderful long saunter back along this beautiful valley, eventually hooking up with Low Lane and then back into the village of Kentmere. So that's the route, round about 15 kilometres, 9 miles-ish. In terms of weather, the forecast is overcast all day, which is correct so far, but I didn't realise it could be clagged in as well. All the tops are completely gone. I just hope it all clears out by the time I get to Nanbeal Pass, because that's when the views are excellent. I can just hope and pray that it lifts and blows out, although there's no wind. Anyway, let's get across Low Lane here, up to High Lane, a bit further up. You might be able to see the wall up there. So this is the way I'll be coming back later on and back over this stile. But isn't this a cute little lane? I love it. But at the moment, I'm going to be going straight over this stile here. It's lovely. This is a lovely little area here actually. In that last video I did, the full Kentmere Horseshoe, coming back down into the village, I kind of did this in reverse. It was beautiful coming through this section and then also that section walking back towards the church. Actually one of the most beautiful paths I've ever walked on. It looked a bit grim this morning though. Now it's hard to say for certain because obviously the cloud base is really low, but I don't think there's any snow on the tops anymore. I think that's all gone. It's been quite, well, it's not mild, but temperatures have certainly lifted this last week. Okay, just getting to High Lane now. These two run parallel to each other, but this is like a proper tarmac road, I think. I think it drops down quite far on the other side. Is that right-ish? Yeah. It is a shame that it's so clagged in today, because I just don't know what views you guys are going to get. I don't know what I'm going to be able to show you, which it is a pity, because the views, like I said, up round Nanbeal Pass are some of the best in the lakes. I know. Similar to last week actually, very gloomy, quite dark. My eyes are struggling a little bit, so this camera's probably struggling. I can't choose the weather, I've just got to get out and do the stuff that I've planned, you know, the walks that I've planned in the order I've planned it, because I'm a little bit OCD. I can't go out of order. You have to stick around because I haven't been out for a pint in 2 walks, which is absolute, well, it's just ridiculous. So you have to stick around to the end anyway to see where I'm going to go. And it's a good one. If you like beer, yeah, it is probably the best place you could possibly go, actually. Look at this lot here. Oh. Hey, Swaley. It's funny, some of them are really meek and mild, And some of them are quite brave. That one just stood there and watched, and then walked after me a little bit to kind of, you know, see me off the premises, as it were. But isn't it just lovely round here? Walking up this track, it's beautiful. And we kind of wind up a little bit in a minute, past another farm building, and then through a gate and up onto the open fell side. So yeah, it doesn't take long at all to get to this bit. 10 minutes, if that. I mean, I'm kind of dawdling and looking at swaleys. Aha. Hey, Hurdy. Oh, it's so good to see those smiling faces. Not seen a hurdy for quite a few weeks now. You can probably see the large boulder there and the hurdy stood next to it. Lovely. This is actually a really good place to stand and, you know, take in the view, because on a clear day you would be able to see pretty much the whole of the horseshoe. So that's the western side of the horseshoe there, going up to York and Ilbell and Froswick further around. And we can obviously see Shipman knots there with its lumps and bumps and crags and stuff, which is what I'm looking forward to as well. Yeah, it could be quite interesting in the clag. Anyway, waffling. Let's get around this little barn here and up onto the open fell side. Oh, I like your colourings. They're lovely. Look at this, is hurdy land. You've got all these little hurdies to play with, and you can kind of stay in these little houses and cuddle them and things. Okay, is that a bit weird? That might be a bit weird. Bye-bye, hurdy land. So immediately after that gate, the whole landscape changes. The vegetation is completely different now, and it suddenly feels a little bit more raw and kind of what we're after. Oh heck, we've got fell ponies. Now, I always like the idea of seeing fell ponies and getting some photographs of them, but as you well know, if you're a regular on the channel, horses scare the bejesus out of me. And they're right on the path where I need to go, look. This is where I need to go, you can see the path just heading up here. So I need to go betwixt Death Horse 1 and Death Horse 2. It's a shame. If I was a horsey person, I'd stick around and get some shots, but yeah, that one's looking at me. If I don't look at it, it might not see me. I'm gonna go through the long grass. I'm gonna take the dangerous path. That's it, we're done. We're all right. That's it, I can outrun them now. So it doesn't take long at all before this path starts to get fairly steep and prolonged, and I can already feel my temperature going up, so I'm gonna have to take this coat off in a minute. But yeah, liking it so far. Not seen anybody yet. I think most people go in the clockwise direction when they're doing the horseshoe. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see actually, because later on I should start to see people coming in the opposite direction. It's got a lot steeper now. Up on my toes and digging in. Strike a pause. Okay, still not stripped off. I'll take my hat off. You might be able to see the beads of sweat. It's honestly got hot going up there then, up this little slope here. But as you can see, not far off the cloud base now. This here, in fact, you can see it now on the crag. This is Ray Crag. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to follow this track off here. That's deceptive. I'm going to head up to Ray Crag and get onto the ridge as soon as possible, really. But I have this sneaking suspicion that this might be the last time I see the valley for a little bit, as the views get engulfed by the clag, you know. Right, let's go up to Ray Crag, and hopefully from there should be able to see, well, I was going to say should be able to see the rest of the route. Won't be able to see the rest of the route, but hopefully be able to see the wall, and then perhaps handrail that for a little bit. Oh, that would have been a nice photograph. White background, lovely. Okay, so it's levelled off a little bit now as I approach the ridge line. Let's keep an eye out for a wall. Okay, that looks quite ominous. I don't know if you can see that, but it almost looks like there's a lion lying on that hill. As it's lifting a little bit, that's the wall. Phew, I'm not going to get snaffled. Well, I might do, who knows. I am marauding rough fell or something like that. So as that section was a little bit boggy, it's a good idea just to get on this side of the bog as close as possible to the wall. How gorgeous is this place? I love this, I love the wall. I actually like the way it disappears off into the mist like that. Okay, now I've come a little bit unstuck. Even by the wall has got a bit boggy, so just gingerly going across these stepping stones that someone has so kindly ripped off the wall and put on the ground, honestly. Okay, so this is a completely different route to what I did last time when I came off Shipman Knots. I came off a little bit further to the west, away from this wall, and it was lovely actually, a nice winding path going through various little outcrops of rock and what have you. It was actually a really nice stroll down. Okay, just approaching the summit now, and this is the path I've just taken up by the wall, but at this point as it comes out into the open you can see several paths going off in that direction going down. Now if you're doing the horseshoe in the way I did it last time, you will probably more than likely end up going along one of these. This one here in fact. A little bit of snow left, not a lot but maybe enough for a small snowman. It's weird how it's changed so much in just 1 week. That, yeah, all the snow's gone. Let's have a look. There's this rock and pile of stones there. Actually, looking at it, I think that bit's higher. Let's go and have a look at that. Yeah, it's really deceptive. It's very difficult to tell which is the highest point, but I do believe this is it. This is where the ring contour is on the map. Oh, I tell you something. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but I think I might be lucky. We're seeing little bits of, well, I guess that's grey crag, maybe tan crag across the valley. Ooh, now I'm excited. So that is tan crag over there. I can just make out the survey station on that hill. Even my rubbish eyes, so that means that one must be grey crag there. All the snow's gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably go along that track there, pick that one up and head up to Kentmere Pike and just and so make it out now in the gloom. It's a little bit of a long, steady trudge up the grass up towards Kentmere Pike. From now on, it is pretty much just all grass and bogs and stuff. And it all gets a bit more exciting, like I said earlier on, as we get towards Harter Fell and Nanbeal Pass. But yeah, I'm seeing bits and bobs now out here. So, whoo-hoo, let's see what happens today. So I'm actually quite glad that the shroud of mist has drawn back a little bit, because it actually allows me to quite easily see where I need to go now. I don't want to be following the wall. I want to be going off in that direction a little bit. And as soon as I said that, it's kind of closing again. Okay, I can just make out a stile through the mist. Oh, this is quite a steep one. Yeah, this is very steep actually. This is definitely a steep one. Two-handed job. It's pretty high on that other side, but it's only 4 tiny steps on this side. So it really is a fairly gentle, steady away climb up towards Kentmere Pike as we pick up the fence once more. In a minute it's going to get a little bit steeper, but not by much. If you have a look at the contours on the map, they're not very close together at all. Okay, after that mini trudge up to the summit, it kind of levels off a bit as you reach the wall. Get past a little bit of a boggy bit here in a sec, and then to the summit. Oh, can I jump that? Yeah. Ooh, almost no. Bit more wetness here, look. Still a bit of ice around as well. I can actually go straight across, look. Although I'm getting cocky. Yeah. Oh, a minute now. I was amongst it then. Okay. Here we are on the summit of Kentmere Pike. Lovely. Look at the views. Pile of stones. Let's get across the wall here and we'll go and touch that trig point. I can probably touch it from here. This trig point. Okay, Kentmere Pike done. I think had it been clear with some views, I probably would have stopped round here and had a bit of a break and enjoyed the scenery, but as it's still clagged in, I'm going to push on towards Harter. Yeah, Kentmere Pike. Ooh, nearly. Once again, it doesn't feel like a pike to me. I mean, I guess it is a pike, but it just feels like an extension of Harter really, just part of the Harter ridge. Okay, here we are on the know. And if you know, you know. I don't know. Oh, that's very, very bright all of a sudden. Wow. Kind of forget just how bright it is in the snow. Okay, here we go. Approaching the summit of Harter. And in his book, Wainwright mentions the fact that the cairn at the top here is made up of, you know, old dilapidated fences and all that kind of stuff on top of the rock, but it looks like over the years since he was here, someone's put more rocks on top of the old bits of fence posts and what have you. It looks a little bit different to what it does in his book and his little drawing. But yeah, it's still all here though. This is it, this is Harter, and it kind of goes on that way, fairly flat, and drops off eventually, and then goes down to Gatesgarth Pass, which is where I was last week. Can you believe this is the same mountain that I was looking up towards and marvelling at because it was so beautiful, real mountain-like, and yet when you're on it, and I mentioned this, it's just a bit boring and a bit flat. Yeah, it's completely featureless, completely and utterly featureless, except for the cairn and the fence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head towards the top of the pass. I'm going to drop down maybe a little bit, find a bit of shelter if I can, because it is raining a little bit and there's a little bit of a breeze. But hey, look, hopefully you can see that blue sky. So it is trying. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Ah, such a shame though. Such a shame there's no view, because looking out that way, I can kind of see it. You might be able to see it through the gloomage. A little bit of hawes water down there. From here you can see Rough Crag. You can see High Street, Mardale, Bell. You can see all sorts. Honestly, it's an absolutely glorious view. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll show you what the views are like from here with a little bit of archive footage, some drone footage from previous visits to this area, and you can see what it's like, the views you can get from here, and yeah, why it's so worthwhile coming up to at least Nanbeal Pass and Harter. Hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit of hawes water there in the middle of the shot. See a little bit more of the pass, A little bit of rough crag there as well, but isn't this a beautiful path? It just does these little switchbacks. Oh, there we go, look. So I might just hole up here for a little bit. Well, that was a real treat, wasn't it? It all just suddenly opened up there, and yeah, just for a few seconds. I mean, it's still happening now, over towards Rough Crag, but it's just not getting that full clarity. It got a little bit busy then as well. Actually, loads of people turned up. There were people coming up and then people coming down as well. This is where I've sat in the past. And you just kind of sit with your bum in that bit there, look, with the most amazing view over small water there. Yeah, it's too windy here. I'm going to drop down a bit over there. Unlike the previous times, yeah, it's too cold. That is icy. Oh, actually, literally a couple of feet down. And that's it, I'm out of it, I'm out of the wind. And hopefully, I'll get glimpses of Harter Fell that way. Kind of see it, and I'll get glimpses of small water and Hawes water beyond. Fingers crossed. I was eating my sandwiches so voraciously then, I actually chomped right down into my lip. So if you see any blood on my face at all, that's the reason why. Although I should have said I was attacked by a clan of marauding savage herdies, shouldn't I? Right, as you can see, it's not flipping changed at all. It stayed clagged in the whole time. I don't think it's going to lift. As the day goes on, it's probably going to get worse. Watch this, watch it clear now. But yeah, it got cold as well. As you can see, I've rugged up again, multiple layers on. Brr. And I've decided, now I've eaten and got really cold, I'm going to head down to the bottom of the pass, you know, where the shelter is, and head down back into Kentmere Valley and on with the rest of the walk, because there's some stuff down there that I want to have a look at around the quarries. I want to go and have a look at the reservoir as well. Whoa, nearly on my backside again. And there might be a cave down there, I don't know. There's a cave marked on the map. Whether it's any good or I can get in or not is a different thing. So well, my hands are like blocks of ice again. One of you mentioned last week as well in last week's video that I should get some better gloves. Trouble is, I've got these gloves. I've also got another pair of woolly gloves in the bag and a pair of full-on waterproof winter mitts that are superb. But I just can't be bothered taking my bag off and getting them out and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, my laziness knows no bounds. Huge couch, isn't it? Right, so that was where I came up a couple of weeks ago, up and then off up that way, the most boring fell in the Lake District, remember? And I said I was going to be going, actually I think I said I was coming up this way for some reason, I don't know why. But yes, I'm going down. Let's do it. At some point, very soon I'd imagine, probably going to drop out of the cloud base and I should be able to see the valley, which would be nice. Just to see something would be nice. Well, isn't that looking nice? It just goes to show that I was actually very, very close to the cloud base as it was. And this little thread you can see going along the valley, it's quite handy that, because the sun position is actually shining on the path. That is the path that I'll be taking, or certainly part of it, before I drop down to Kentmere Reservoir just down there. Oh, that's looking very nice. Wow. You're not going to believe this, but back up towards Nanbeal Pass, blue sky, it's actually clearing out. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? But I don't care, because look at that. The cloud is actually cascading down this side here and then back up onto the other side, almost like some kind of weird half pipe. Incredible to watch, and I think actually now it's starting to creep up the valley towards me. It is nice to have a little bit of clarity though and be able to see things, so it needs to stay down there. I don't want it to creep up here and then just envelop me again. Hey Hurdy. What a little cutie you are, aren't you? And what a view you've got. Peekaboo. Hello. I can't begin to tell you how chuffed I am to see all these herdies about round here. It's quite a lot actually, just dropping off the pass there. I mean, look at this landscape. Love the shapes here. That, if only it wasn't so misty and had a bit of light coming in, because look at the herdie there, look, underneath that. What looks like the bow of a ship, doesn't it? Like a big tanker or something. Oh, I'm getting delirious now. It's the loss of blood. You just can't make this stuff up, can you? You get down to this bit, so it's herdie's bombing it across the grass there. Yeah, as soon as I get down here and it's all opened up, the views, it all clags in again. So it's probably like a wonderful blue sky day up there right now. This is part and parcel of felt walking, isn't it? I mean, it really is. This is what it's all about. Just getting out in all kinds of weather conditions. You don't know what you're going to get, and that's what makes it exciting and enjoyable and variable. Get different types of shots, get different types of views. Right, so I'm going to push on down this path, and at some point when I'm in line pretty much with the dam of the reservoir, I think I'll be dropping down towards it. I've never actually done this path before, so it's all a bit of guesswork really, and once again a voyage of discovery, which I do like. It's cleared out again. Honestly, it's like every 10 seconds, it's a different day. I do hate having to ask this, but if you are enjoying this video, or any of the videos, to be honest with you, please hit that like button. Just such a simple act as hitting that button will make a big difference to this channel. So this is Kentmere Common, this area here, and look how beautiful it's looking with the light and obviously the shadow there. Now we've got in the cloud Frosick up there, Ilbel is kind of up there somewhere, or maybe up there, it's difficult to tell, but yeah, looking really nice. And it actually looks like the clouds are lifting ever so slightly. Kentmere Reservoir, beautiful, isn't it? And from this height I can really hear all the water and the waterfalls of the River Kent running into it. And the River Kent runs back out the other side, obviously down through Kentmere, the valley, and ultimately goes through Kendal and out into the Kent estuary by Anside. According to the map, The path that's going to drop me off this bridleway is just beyond the dam of the reservoir there. So you end up walking, so you're in line with it, but it's just after, and I think it's just after this little bit of a knot here. Okay, so the path looks like it carries on that way, the bridleway, sorry, but I think this is where my path's going to go off. I can kind of see sort of a trod going round. It'll be right. Very straightforward path, that actually. I mean, it got steep in areas, but it wasn't difficult in any way. That's kind of like an aqueduct, isn't it? Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? So what you could actually do, if you didn't fancy doing the whole Kentmere horseshoe, or even the half horseshoe that I've done today, is you could actually just walk up the valley, up to the reservoir here, round the whole thing, which is, you know, a fair size, and then back round, all low level, and then back in. Ooh, now then, you can actually come here and steer the reservoir. Meep, meep. Lovely though, isn't it? Really, really lovely. And as you may have noticed, not a soul around. Once again, I've got the whole of the Lake District to myself. Very nice indeed. And look how easy this is to walk on, you know, it's very, very soft and easy underfoot. This actually looks kind of easier than it is. Maybe I can just step onto that rock. Depends how grippy it is. Whew. I need to look at the rock and not the back of this camera. Right, step on. Oh, there you go. That's half the problem sometimes, you know. I'm too busy trying to look at when I'm pointing the camera and look at the back of the screen that I lose balance because I'm not looking at the environment around me to make sure I don't fall over. That was very close. I like this area. I like it a lot. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot to look at, a lot to take in. Have a look. Nice, I like this path as well. I like it all. The path, the river. So yeah, this water runs through the centre of Kendal. Really see where they've worked the land here now, that big black scar where they've hewn the rock. The size of that thing. Okay, this needs exploring. Let's go and have a look. See what we can see up here. Semblance of a path, but it seems to sort of stop here. God, can you imagine all that sliding? What a way to die. I think I might just kind of pick my way up the side here and see how far I can get up. This could be a bit of a disaster. We'll have a look. Okay, change of plan. I'm going to head back round out of here to the right and then see if I can get in that way, because that was giving me the creeps. Just all that slate precariously poised just to come down and slice me up. Okay, let's get up here. This looks a little bit safer. Follow the grass as long as possible and see if we can find this cave. Oh, this is a very, very interesting little place. Lots of little buildings like this. It's just started to rain, so this might be a good time to get in a cave. Slightly frightened, especially if Ticky Tom's in here. Oh, for the love of God, I don't want to see Ticky Tom. Is it a cave? It's just a big block of rock. Oh, I was really hoping there'd be a cave entrance around there then. Just have a quick check of the map and see if actually I'm in the wrong place, because it might be a bit further up, but it feels like it's in the right place. I just wonder if it's been blocked off or something maybe. No, I'm in the right place. pretty much right where it says cave, but I think I'm going to go a little bit higher and just check to the side, make sure I'm not missing anything. Ooh, it's a bit dodgy here. I won't be falling down into that now, do I? Can't see the bit of the cave entrance up here, although there might be. After all that, this looks more like it. Oh, I think it's closed off. That is a real shame. Ooh, there's a lot of water dripping off the ceiling. Oh, that's interesting. There's a hole up that way. I can see daylight, which means that's a loose rock. But flipping heck, yeah, that. Oh, it goes right down. I think it goes right down into that bottom right-hand corner, just past that sort of slab of rock there. To the left of it, there's a hole that drops down to the right. In fact, it drops all the way down. Look at that. All the way down there. There's like one rock holding all this up. That is a scary cave. No wonder they've closed this off. It's a really interesting little hole in the ground, isn't it? And part of me is quite glad that I couldn't get down there, because I think it looked really scary. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know if you could see it, but the ground just slipped away and then under a bigger rock above it, and I guess just into a wedge. Can you imagine slipping down there? Oh, this reminds me of my my quarryman story. I don't know if you've seen that on Instagram. I put a story on a couple of years ago. I just made it up, you know, like stories. And it was basically set at Hodgeclose Quarry, because it's got the skull, the Hodgeclose skull. The premise of the story is that guy that works there ends up sliding down a huge crack like that and ends up just getting wedged right at the bottom, hundreds of meters down, no way of getting out, and just dying slowly. Do like a good happy story. Oh, right, rain's moved in, which is a little bit disappointing. That's why I've got my coat back on again. You can see it's all just gone a bit gloomy, although it's looking really nice back up towards the reservoir. Look. Right, I'm going to get back down the valley now. Just make my way back to Kentmere, the village. I can't believe I'm still going uphill. I mean, it's not a massive uphill, but it's a slight gradient. Just make out a little bit of a track coming down here. It does wind round in that direction to pick up that other path, the bridle way. There we go. There is the route ahead. It's a long way, isn't it? Right down that valley. Right, back on that bridle way. So this is the one that I was on before I dropped down to the reservoir there. Back across the River Kent. Oh. Back onto a nice track now. It should pretty much lead me all the way back to Kentmere, I'm hoping. I mean, I kind of have to change paths and I'd end up back on Law Lane again. But yeah, look at this tree. Isn't that lovely? So that's where I've just come down from the top of there. And this is Tongue Scar. Obviously, you know, another site of quarrying and what have you, but it looks so impressive from here, especially in this weather and this mist and these conditions. Right, a couple of fords to get across here. They're marked on the map as fords. There's not a lot of water here, really. So it is actually quite a long walk along the valley, but, you know, like last week, I can think of far worse places to be. It is absolutely gorgeous in every direction. Look at it. First of all, look at its holly bush. That's a beautiful specimen. But the valley, all the way down there, it's very flat actually on the bottom. And then looking back to where I've been today, well, it's a bit further around that way, but yeah, you get the idea. Okay, this is a little hamlet of Overend. This is a cute little place, isn't it? Look at that. I bet this section is beautiful in summer. A few more months and this will look amazing. There are a lot of cute walls, a lot of cute paths and a lot of cute gates around here. This is a lovely place to walk. So, this track that I'm on now, a bit further down, is just going to turn into low lane. So not far at all now, which is a shame because I'm really enjoying it. I don't want it to end. Pint. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's get it over with. Oh, cute footbridge. Right, here we go. Onto a low lane. About 400 metres on here, and I'll be back at that stile that I came over. Okay, here we go. Here's the stile. So this morning I went down here and across and up, but now let's get back over. Right, almost back into the village and familiar turf. I really hope you've enjoyed this walk as much as I have, because believe me, I've really enjoyed it. It's been amazing, and I hope you guys can get out and do it. Don't forget, I always put the route in the description. It's a clickable link to the Ordnance Surveyor app, which I can highly recommend, by the way. A couple of quid a month, it's worth it. And but don't go yet. Got to go and have a pint first. I hope you can join me for that as well. Come on, let's go and have a pint. Us together. Hope we can fit us all in. Felt thin. Let's get you up. Come on. There you go. Good dog. Should we go and get a beer, Felt Fin? Yeah. Let's go and get a beer. Have a pint of the mosaic, please. Mosaic? Yeah. Anything else, mate? That's it, thanks. Yeah, awesome.